what would be you be like top 3 ADCs right now in EU?
I mean, I think I will still put the same prio. I think Reckless is the best right now. I think Ansama, besides like the misfit situation and all this stuff, I think Ansama is really great, and I will put him like top 2. After that, it gets rough. It gets like way rough, but to be fair, like 2 games against players, if I'm not wrong, the second game we played against them, I had a 50 CS lead.
Hey everyone, this is Darius from the Shotcaller. I'm sitting here with Minitroupax. Congrats on the win against H2k. Hard-fought victory and MVP performance in the last game, I felt like.
Thank you.
Was insane to see you go off on that Tristana.
I mean, I think I could have played better actually, but I think I played pretty good. And even though Sheriff, besides being a rookie, I think he played really good as well for their team, and he was like the key to win for them, but I think I outperformed him, and I'm pretty happy about myself and my team, of course.
I mean, you're also a rookie, so...
Yeah, I know, right? But, you know, it's to make it fair, you know, like rookies, we have less experience, and of course, like, the best of 5 in playoffs, your first playoffs, your first best of 5 in LCS, it's always shakier than what it should be if you're, like, here forever, you know, but I'm real happy with everything.
So Gillies just mentioned this in the post-game lobby, that after game 2, or like during game 2, when there was the throws happening, essentially, there was a lot of moods and emotions coming out of the team, and there was a talking point after the game. Can you explain a bit what happened there?
If I'm not mistaken, game 2 we were ahead early game. Yep. I think we got ahead 4 out of 5 games early game. We were a really strong early game team, and basically we were ahead. We were snowballing. I think we were 5k ahead before Nashor, and we miscommunicated on Baron. Like we wanted to Talia wall, just finish the Nashor, because I think Olaf had no flash, or if he flashes, like it's an Olaf. Okay, just go on him, you know. But then Talia ult got blocked, and we're like undecisive if we want to trade or not, if we want to finish 50-50. It ended up they get the Nashor. They stalled the game forever, and then they just went, basically because their team with the Nashor was actually pretty strong. It's what they wanted, and basically, of course, you know, like it's frustrating to lose a game that you should have won. You know, yeah. Like for example, 4th game, nobody got tilted. We got stomped in 22 minutes, but we got stomped early, and so we had to lose that game, you know. Yeah. And it's not like you throw it. If you throw it, it's always a bit more frustrating. But after every game, you always reset the mentality. And I think that the thing that people said about us being weak in best of 5s because we'll get tilted if we lose some games, I think that's completely bullshit.
Well, you've proven those doubters wrong now. Did the dog help you to keep yourself cool and stuff?
No, I think we actually have a strong mentality, because besides what people say, before joining LCS, we came from Giants. We won everything, legit everything. I think we lost 1 tournament, and that's about it in 1 entire year. And then we come here and we're stomping everyone, and then we go into a really big losing streak for us, you know, and we still came back. We had insane game against Fnatic when they were at the peak of their level. We eliminated Schalke, that I think it was a good team. I think Schalke should have been in playoffs and not, for example, H2k. I think H2k are okay team, but they shouldn't have been in playoffs, because I think they relied way more on teams making mistakes than them doing the right play. You know, for example, G2 game where they just come back from a 10k deficit and all this stuff. I think they are not as they don't deserve as much as other teams, for example. And basically, what was my point?
Oh, well, you were talking about how you came in and stuff.
Yeah, and basically, even after that, you know, we lost to Giants, H2k when they had like last place teams on, and we didn't tilt. We were cool. Of course, like it's never the best mood ever, but we're still good, you know, and we know how to bounce back, and we just showed it today.
And in all fairness, given that you and Jack Troll and Jizuka are all rookies, Gillies didn't play in LCS for a while. Of course, Cabashot. He didn't play playoffs either. So you had this team of a bunch of people which were a question mark for many people, and you still made it to top 4 officially now. You're a top 4 LCS team. That must feel pretty good in your first rookie split.
I mean, they at first of the split, I think they put us 8th or something like that. I think it was the average position that they put our team, and I was pretty surprised because I saw playoffs really you know, in the hand. Like, it's not like it's super easy, but I saw playoffs, basically. And after this, like, I was expecting, like, an easier series, but they actually played well, kind of, and we just screwed ourselves over. I think, like, the fourth game is all in, you know, it's all on them. We didn't do anything and we just got stumped. But the second game we should have finished already, and it should have been 3-0 if we win that game, because we won third game, you know. Yeah. And that's my opinion, of course, but, you know, like, it feels good.
A lot of people, speaking about Tilt once more, did expect you guys to lose after that, the last loss, and like in the final game, essentially. Because, I mean, the fourth game was a complete stomp, and you like go out of it and you're like, oh, damn it.
I mean, if people actually research our history, we never lost a best of 5, by the way, as this 4-man roster that we have. We never lost it. We went to several five games. I don't know why we like to go 5 game. And actually, the last best of 5 we played against Schalke in the promotion tournament, we got hard stomped fourth game. We picked Bane. H2k had Orianna. He was playing against Jarvan and LeBlanc. Holy moly, I never saw such a fed LeBlanc, you know, like LeBlanc was one-shotting. It was not H2k's fault, but, you know, like, before LeBlanc was stronger, Jarvan was prio, and imagine playing Orianna against that. Good luck in esports. It's like the Orianna just got shut down, and Bane needed time to scale, so we just got completely dismantled, and we still won. Like, as I said, like, I think if you don't manage to just cool out your mentality even after loses, I think you're not as good as a player. And I think that's one of the main factors of best of 5s and a great complete player, and I think we got that.
Yeah, I mean, it's of course an ability that usually comes with experience. Now, even though it is your rookie split and of several other players as well, I think the fact that you have been playing for such a long time with the same team plus Kabusha essentially helps out quite a bit there. Now, that said, you have to face Fnatic next week. Fnatic looks really strong, not gonna lie. So what are your expectations? Are you just gonna take the game and then take it as a learning experience, or are you actually gonna try to get that 3-1 win, maybe 3-2 win?
I'd say this series is going long. Anyways, you know, like, I think as I said in the interview with Medic a few minutes ago, I think our team is the best early game team. I think, like, we managed to get early game leads always, or almost always, you know, and I think that's a fair point because it's a stat. And you can target against that. And basically, after that, what we struggle sometimes is with Baron plays. You know, like, we're too impatient, and basically we screw ourselves over. We go into a 50-50 that shouldn't be if you're 5k ahead, and then sometimes we throw, and sometimes we just finish early. And basically, what I think is that we'll probably managed to get advantage against Fnatic early game, because the 2 games we played against them, we actually got insane leads early game. And the first game we finished and we played on sideline. The second game, it was 50-minute game, and it was 3 50-50s that we lost every single one. So it's like, I don't think a best of 5 it will be decided by a 50-50. You know, if we play it good, it won't be 50-50. So basically, I think we'll get early leads and then we'll just play our game, because obviously they have the edge on experience. Like the game that they won against us, I think it's because they have insane experienced players and they play really good mid and late game. Like you have Reckless and so as this guy have been here forever, you know. So basically they have that
Illisan as well.
Yeah, Illisan as well. They have that going for them, obviously. We cannot debate that, and I think their mid-late game probably has an edge over us, but I think our early game is better than theirs. And we should try to exploit that, because it doesn't matter how good your mid-game is. If you're 5k behind or 10k behind, it doesn't matter if you're Fnatic or Longzhu or whatever you want to be, you're gonna lose, normally.
I mean, G2 lost that series against that game against H2k where they were 10k ahead. It can happen.
But they screwed over. It's, you know, like, if you screw over, you can always lose games, okay, you know. But yeah, if you play a good, clean game, if you're 5k, 10k in a professional game, you're gonna lose.
Fair. So your Tristana was insane. A bit surprisingly, I thought that Sheriff picked up the Ashe again, because she's been not the most priority to pick, I feel like. He did an insane play in the early game where he you jumped in and basically kind of suicided, and he flashed, ulted you, and then made all those plays happen. What did you think of the Ashe pick in general, and especially against your Tristana? Because late game you just stomped.
I mean, I was the first one bringing the Ashe into this split. I think Ashe is a little bit underrated by the players. I think she has a really great laning phase. She matches like the range of Caitlyn. Like the volley in the laning phase is really powerful, even more with the presence of mind. Basically, every single level up, you can push, you can harass, you can activate Q. That it's actually really strong, and you get the push sometimes. And also the Ox shot. If you play with your jungle and your team, you get a lot of valuable information. So I think it's not as bad as a pick. Of course, it falls off. You don't have like these big ass crits that Tristana or Caitlyn can have. But I don't think it was a bad pick. Like, obviously, I think like even after the nerfs of Tristana, you get even more advantage laning phase wise, and they had also the Tamkins, which is the nice kind of my engage, right? So like I thought it was a fine pick, but I think that team needed him more in a carry scenario. That's why we banned Jinx, for example. I think they actually needed him on a carry scenario where he just goes 6 items against me and just hope for the best, you know. Yeah. Like in the third game, they could have won. I had Caitlyn, he had Tristana, but we ended up playing better, and well, it is what it is. But I think it was a fine pick.
So when I first interviewed you, I believe it was in week 2, we were talking a bit about like your personal goals and like your goals as an ADC within the league, and you wanted to overcome the likes of Reckless and many other great ADCs, and that you already viewed yourself as one of the better ones in the league. If you had to like list, you know, the top ADCs in the league right now, because we just had the MVP voting, but you might have a different opinion, what would be like top 3 ADCs right now in EU?
I mean, I think I will still put the same prio. I think Reckless is the best right now. I think Ansama, besides like the misfit situation and all this stuff, I think Ansama is really great, and I will put him like top 2. After that, it gets rough. It gets like way rough, but to be fair, like 2 games against Players, if I'm not wrong, the second game we played against them, I had a 50 CS lead. So, you know, like of course, like they had to lose 1 wave because we got the Talia coming in and we had the Shen. But besides that, 1 wave it's not 50 CS, okay? Yeah, so basically, I think like at least Splice. Of course, they are good players, but I think we have an edge over them. I don't know why Kasing said they thought we were weaker for example this matchup of today. But opinions are opinions, so it's whatever. And I think Sheriff played a really good split, but today we beat them. So you know, and
good argument.
And also I got it's not like I care, but I got the MVP, and I think my performance was quite solid. For example, the Caitlyn game, I didn't die a single time in 50-minute game. I played really clean, in my opinion, and I played a good series. So I think I kind of deserve at least top 3, top 4 of this split by far, and we're top 4 team, so top 4 at least AD carry. I think I deserve it pretty neatly, and I'll just match myself against Reckless in the next week, semifinals of playoffs, and if I can overcome that, I'll be really happy.
I'm very excited about that matchup for sure. Now, a couple of viewers told me to say Caval and Cavallo during the interview. I have no idea what that means, so...
Caralho.
Caralho. Okay.
Yeah, it's like this typical stuff in Portuguese, you know, it's like... I don't think there is a translation.
Okay.
I don't think there is really like one word translation for this word, but it's like something that Portuguese people swear a lot, okay? You know, like if you watch our mic checks, I scream a lot as well when we do good plays and when games finish and all this stuff. I really feel it. And basically one of the swearings, kind of, it's like caralho. So every time like we win or something like that, I'm like, I mix English with Portuguese and I'm like, nice caralho. And it's like something that Portugal has. And of course, like since I'm the first Portuguese here and we're managing to go up, they are really proud of me.
A lot of Portuguese fans recently, both in the last week in the regular split, and this time I think there were 2 as well, and they were really happy about that, of course.
They had the Portuguese flag. It made me actually really happy. It was against the Splice game. Yeah. I entered the stage and I see the Portuguese flag and I'm like so happy, you know, like it's the first time that I had Portuguese fans, I think. Yeah. Like I had a couple before, but they weren't like hard fans. These guys were insane, you know. They were really cool. They were like cheering every time. They were doing the Cristiano Ronaldo Ronaldo sound, you know, like every time I did something, they were like, and it was really funny because even with the headsets, you kind of hear like some noise if they scream so loud, you know, and it was really funny. Like, of course, I didn't hear them like screaming that, but they told me, and I was hearing a lot of noise, so I knew kind of it was them.
You were feeling it.
Yeah, I had a feeling in my head.
Anything you ever wanted to tell the EULCS fans, just in general, or anything you ever wanted to get out there?
I mean, not really. I think I'm a really straightforward guy. Every time I have something to say, I say it, and I'm just really happy that we got this far for our first split, because in my perspective, this can only get better in the second split. You know, like we already got one regular split experience. We just got our best of 5. We'll get at least 2 more best of 5. Like we get 2 best of 5s. Doesn't matter, and we'll play in Copenhagen, which will be a really big stage. I wanna be there in the finals, of course. I wanna wear my Portuguese flag with pride. But like I'm really happy with everything we've achieved this year, because you know, when the roster was announced, we were no-namers. Like, of course we are still not big names, but people start to know us and people start to actually respect us, and that's something that we really evaluate as players. And we start to have our own little legacy, and this is the most far that Vitality ever got, and we had like a rookie team. So imagine like in Summer Split.
I think Vitality got playoffs in when they first joined in 2015.
Yeah, but they didn't win quarterfinals.
Oh, didn't they?
No.
Ah.
I know, because I talked to Cabo. It was 2 years ago.
Right. It was with Kasing as well, right?
It was when Fnatic was not that great.
Yeah.
It was when G2 took over. But Fnatic had Gamsu and Spirit.
But they placed second, I think, in the regular split, didn't they? Oh, was it third?
Yeah, and it was with a scoreline of 15-3 or something like that.
It was super close.
Yeah, like I think G2 went like 17-1. It was
and Origin
really insane.
Was second.
And Origin was really good too.
Right, yeah, back then. Good old times.
Yeah.
Well, can you promise me one thing?
Okay.
If you do, well, you are going to go to Copenhagen, but if you do win your game, whether it is for first or third, will you celebrate your victory with a C?
I was actually planning to do that.
Okay.
You know, like it's a real it's the most Portuguese way you can celebrate anything, and I think in a big ass stage like it's Copenhagen, I'm going to be really happy if we win.
Okay, well, it's a deal then. I'm very excited about that. This was, of course, Minitroupax from Vitality and Darius from the Shotcaller. Hope you had a good day. See! Hey everyone, this is Darius from the Shotcaller, and I hope you just enjoyed that interview. This is a generic end card, so make sure to click here for another interview or here for a different interview. And if you want to check out more content, specifically from the NALCS, make sure to visit theshotcaller.net for more interviews and other esports content. Have a good day.